Hey guys, my name is Vinay. Welcome to Project Vinay. This is a documentary where I'm documenting myself till I reach my goals. My goal is to build my own personal brand, to build my own empire, to build my own business, to develop my skills. Currently, we are focusing on my communication skills and my spoken English skills. So, we are reading this book called The Almanac of Nawal Ravikant, and today is uh, I think today is 10th Feb 2026, and this is part 9 of this is day 9 of reading a book. So yesterday we read till page number 110, and today we are going to start from page number 111. Let's start this book. Falsifiability. Sorry if my voice is not too good. So yeah, please manage for these 2 3 days. Yeah. Least understood, but the most important principle for anyone claiming science on their side: falsifiability. Falsify. I have to search this word.
Falsifiability.
Falsifiability. But the most important principle for anyone claiming science on their side: falsifiability. I have to be nearby because I'm going to sound. Sorry. If I don't make falsifiable predictions, it's not science. For you, it's believe something is true. It should have predictive power, and it must be falsifiable. Falsifiable. I think macroeconomics, because it does not make falsifiable prediction, which is the hallmark of science, has become corrupted. You never had a counter example when science studying the economics. You can never take the U.S. economy and run two different experiments at the same time. If you can't decide, the answer is no. If I am facing with a different difficult choice, such as should I marry this person, should I take this job, should I buy this house, should I move to this city, should I do go into business with this person, if you can't decide, the answer is no, and the reason is moderate society is full of potential, full of options. There is, let me be, there are tons and tons of options. We live on a planet of 7 billion people, and we are connected to everybody on the internet. These are hundreds of thousands of careers are available to you. There are so much choices. You are biologically not built to recognize how much choices they are. Historically, we are all evolved in tribes of 150 people. When somebody comes along, they may be your only option for a partner. When you choose something you get locked in for a long time. Starting a business may take 10 years. You start a relationship that will be 5 years or maybe more. You move to a city for 10 to 20 years. These are a very long lived decision. It's very important. We only say yes when we are pretty certain. You are never going to be absolutely certain, but you are going to be very certain. If you find yourself creating a spreadsheet for a decision which with the lead of yes and no's, pros and cons, checks and balance, which this is good or bad, forget it. If you can't decide, the answer is no. Decide, the answer is no. Run uphill. Simple hierarchy, simple heuristic. If you are evenly split on a difficult decision, take the part more painful uh, in the short term. If you have two choices to make and they are a relatively equal choice, take the part more difficult. If you have two choices to build in there, uh, relatively equal choices take the part more difficult and more painful in the short term. What actually going on is one of the part requires short term pain, and the other part leads to a pain further out in the future. And what your brain is going through conflict avoidance is trying to push out the short-term pain, but by definition, if the two and even two or even one has short-term pain, the part has long-term gain associated with the law of compound interest. Long-term gain is what you want to go towards. Mm, why my face lighting is too bad? Sorry, guys. I just realized the video was paused. I don't know where the video got stuck. I have to start. I am not going to read from the where the video got stopped. I am going to continue. Currently, I am in page number 114. So yeah, uh, the video is going to be short, but it's okay. I would say. What can I else do? Anybody can read anything at all the time. Okay, I get this. I think I always love to read because I am actually an anti-social introvert. I was lost in the world of words and ideas from an early age. I think, yeah, I think I always love to read because I am actually, okay, I read that. I lost. I think so. Some of it comes from the happy uh, circumstances that when I was young, nobody forced me to read certain things. I think they are a tendency among parents and teachers to say, "Oh, you should read this," but you don't read that. I read a lot which, by today standards, would be considered mentally junk food. Read, read was your love until you love to read. You you almost had to read the stuff reading because you are into it. You don't need any other reason. There are no missions here to accomplish. Just read because you enjoy it. These days I find myself rereading as much more or more as I do reading a tweet from I have to search this word.
Illucertus.
Illustratus said, "I don't want to read everything. I just want to hundred, read the 100 great books over and over again." I think these a lot to the idea. I really more about identifying the great books for you because different books speaks to different people. When you can read, when you can really observe those. Reading a book isn't a race. The better the book, the more so slowly it should be observed. I don't know about you, but I have very poor attention. I skim, spend speed read. I jump through. I could not tell you specific passage or a quote from the books. At some deep level, you observe them and then became trapped in the tape strip. tapestry of of your philosophy, philosophy, philosophy. They kind of wave in them. I'm sure you had this feeling where you pick up a book and start reading it, and you are like, "This is pretty interesting. This is pretty good." You getting this increasing sense of deja vu. Then halfway through the book, you realize I have read this book before. That's a part that is perfectly fine. It means you were ready to reread. I don't actually read. I don't actually read a lot of books. I pick up a lot of books and only get through a few which form the foundation of knowledge. The reality is, I don't actually read much compared to what people think. I probably read 1 to 2 hours a day. That puts me into the top 1.00001%. I think that a lot accounts for any mental success I had in my life and my intelligence. I might have read people don't read an hour a day. Real people, I think, reading a minute a day or less make it actual habit is the more important thing. It almost don't matter what you read. Eventually, you will read enough things, and your interest will lead you there that it will dynamically improve your life. Just like the best workout for you is one you are excited enough to do every day. I would say for books, blogs, tweets, or whatever, anything which idea and information and learning, the best one to read or the one you are excited about reading all the time. All as long as I have a book in my hand, I don't feel like I am wasting time. Everyone's brain works different. Some people love to take notes. Actually, my note taking is Twitter. I read. If I had some fundamentals, aha, insights or concept, Twitter forced me to distill it into a few characters. Then I try and put it out there as an app wholesome. Then I get attacked by random people who point out all kinds of observes, exception, and jump down my throat. Then I think, why did I do this again? Pointing out ex- exceptions implies either the target isn't smart or you are not. When you pick up your one, you first pick up a book or you skimming for something interesting. How do you go about reading it? How do you go? Do you just flip to a random page and start reading? What's your process? I start at the beginning. I will move fast in it. If it's not interesting, I just start flipping. I hate skipping or reading speed reading. If I don't grab my attention within the first chapter in a meaningful, positive way, I either drop the book or skip ahead a few chapters. I don't believe in delaying gratification when first. Gratification when there are an infinite number of books out there to read. There are so much great books. The number of books completed is a venti metric. As you know more, you leave more books unfinished. The number of books completed is a vanity metric. As you know more, you leave more books unfinished. Focus on new concept with a predictive power. Generally, I am skim, scheme. I will fast forward. I will try and find a part to catch my attention. Most books have a one point to make. Obviously, this is a non-fiction. I am not talking about fiction. They have one point to make. They make it, and then they give up example after example after example after example, and they apply it to example everything in the world. once i Once I feel like I'm gonna the guest, I feel very comfortable putting the book down. There are a lot of this what I would call uh, pseudoscience bestsellers. People are like, "Oh, did you read this book?" I always say yes, but the reality is I read maybe two chapters of it. I got this gift. If they wrote it to make money, don't read it. What practice do you follow to internalize, organize information for reading book? Example: what you learn to someone else teaching forced learning. It's not about educating versus uneducated. It's all about likely to read and don't likely to read. What can I do for the next 60 days to become a clear, more uh, independent thinker? Read the great, read the greats in math, science, and philosophy. What can I do for the next 60 days to become a clear, more independent thinker? Okay. Read the greats in math, science, and philosophy. Ignore your contemporaries and news. Avoid tribal in identifications. Put through about social approvals. Study logic and maths became one your master. Then once you're mastered, then you won't fear any book. No book in the library should scare you. Whatever it's a max, physics, electrical engineer, sociology, or economic book, you should be able to take any book down off the shelf and read it. A number of them are going to be too difficult for you. Then okay, read them anyway. Then go back and reread them and reread them. When you are reading a book and you are confused, then confused is similar to the pain you get in the gym when you are working out, but you are building mental muscle instead of physical muscle, learning how to learn and read the book. The problem was just the problem was saying just read. uh, If there is so much junk out there, these are many different kinds of authors as they or people may of them are going to write lot of junk. I have posted in my life. I have people in my life I consider to be very well reader. Once again, sorry, uh, considered to be a very well read who aren't very smart. I have people in my life considered to be a very well read and who are very smart. Their reason is became because even though they are very well read, they read the wrong things in the wrong order. They start out reading a set of false or just weekly true things, and through I started, yeah, where and reading wrong things in the wrong order. They started out reading a set of false or just weekly true, just weekly true things, and they formed a, a axiom of the foundation for those. wo- worldwide. And then when new things comes, they judge the new ideas based on the foundation they already built. Your foundation is critical because most people are intermediated by Max and could not independently critique it. They overvalue opinions backed with Max and uh, pseudoscience. When it comes to reading, make sure your foundation is very high quality. And the best way to have a high quality foundation, you may not love this answer, but the trick the is to stick to science and to stick to the basics. Generally, stick to the basic generally, and they are only a few things you can read. People do not disagree with. Very few people disagree 2 plus 2 equal to 4, right? This is serious knowledge. Mathematics is a strong foundation. Similarly, the hard science are a solid foundation. Microeconomics is a solid foundation. The most you start, the moment you start wandering outside of this solid foundation, you are in trouble because now you don't know what's true and what's false. I would focus as much as I could on having a solid foundation. It's it's better to be really great it's better to be really great at arithmetics and geometric than to be deep into advanced mathematics. I would read microeconomics all day long. Microeconomics one on one. Sorry, I think it's one. Yeah. Another way to do this is reading original and read classics. If you are interested in evolution, read Charles Darwin. Don't begin with Richard Darwin. Even though I think he is great, read them late. Read Darwin's first. If you want to learn microeconomics, first read Adam Smith. Read won't miss it or misses or read Heike. Start with the original philosophy of economics. If you are into communist or societal idea, which I am personally not, start by reading Karl Marx. Don't read the current interpretation. Someone is feeding you about how things should be done and run. If you start with the originals as foundation, then you have an enough worldwide and understanding that you won't feel any book, fear any book. Then you can't just learn. If you are a particular learning machine, you will never be out of options for how to make money. You can always see what sorry what's coming up in the society, what the value is, where the demand is, and you can learn to come up to the speed to think clearly, understand the basics. If you are memorized advanced concepts without being able to redrive and redrive then as needed, you are lost. uh, we are not in the day and age of Twitter and Facebook. We are going bit sizer, fitzy wisdom, which is really hard to observe. Books are very difficult to read as much as modern people because we are being trained. We have to contrary piece of training. One is our attention span has gone through the floor because we hit with so much information all the time, we want to skip, summarize, and cut to the chase. Twitter has made me a worse reader, but a much better writer. On the other hand, we are also taught from a younger age to finish your book or scary when you are going to school and you are assigned to read a book. You have to finish the book one time, or we forgot how to read a book. Even everyone I know is stuck on some book. I'm sure you are stuck on something right now. It's page 332. You I think we are yeah, let's. You can't go any further, but you know you should finish the book. So what do you know? Do you give up reading book for a while? For me, giving up reading for a tragedy. I grew up on books. Then I switched to blogs and I switched to Twitter and Facebook, and I realized I wasn't actually reading anything. I was just taking little dopamine snacks all day long. I was getting my little 140 character burst of dopamine. I wonder, tweet, then look to see who retweeted. Try to it's a fun and wonderful thing, but it's a real it's a game I was playing. I realized I had to go back to reading book. I knew I it was a very hard problem because my brain had not now been trained to spend time, yeah, on Facebook, Twitter, and these are over a bit sized pieces. I came up with this hack where I started treating books as throwaways, blog posters or bit sized twitters or posts. I feel not obligating to to finishing any book. Now when somebody mentioned a book to me, I buy it at any given time. I am reading somewhere between 10 and 20 books. I flipped through them. Uh, if their book getting a little boring, I'll skip ahead. Something I start reading a book in the middle because some paragraph caught my eye. I will just continue from there, and I feel no obligation. obligation to finish any book. Now, when somebody mention a book to me, I will buy it at any time. I will buy it at any given time. I will read something between 10 and 20 pages, and I flip through them. If the book getting bored, I read the science. I just continue from there, and I feel no obligated obligation whatsoever to finish the book. All of a sudden, books are back into my reading library. That's great because this is an ancient wisdom in book. When solving problems, the older the problem, the older the solution. If you are trying to learn how to drive a car or fly a plane, you should read something written in the modern age because this problem will create in the modern age and the solution is get in the modern age. If you are talking about an old problem like how to keep your body healthy, how to stay calm and peaceful, what kinds of value systems are good, how you are raise a family, and through kinds of things, the older solutions are probably better. Any book that survived for 20,000 years has been filtered through many people. The greater principle are more likely to be correct. They wanted to get back into reading these sort of books. I want the song you can't get out of your head all through working the way. careful what you read. So yeah, we read. I think for today that's it. We read till page number 123. So let's complete page number 124 also. There is a tweet storm. So yeah, a calm mind, a fit body, and a house full of love. These things can't be brought. This much be earned. Okay. So we completed the part one of the book, which was well timed. I think so. Let me check. Yeah, building wealth. Today, what I learned mostly he was talking about books, reading books, and most of the people currently nobody reads books. And if you are reading book, you are into 0.0001% of reading. And he told to sorry, yeah. Just give me a minute. Basically, today he told only about how a person reads a book, uh, how he reads a book. He doesn't read. He's also not a good reader because yeah, the social media stuff, the Twitter. He skips in between, but he prefer what he prefer to read is a book, like a book which has a knowledge which has survived a lot longer. For example, if a person is reading a book for how to be healthy, how to be healthy kind of stuff, so he will prefer a book which has survived a lot longer, and he will not prefer a book which is only made for money. Like, do you know some books are made for money, like how to build become rich, like that stuff. Not that much informative this day today, but I learned something. He told that fundamental is the most important thing whatever you learn. So he told us to learn physics, chemistry, not science, microeconomics, max. Sorry. I also believe in that, like, we have to be more fundamentally strong. If we are really good in our childhood, these four things, we would have been I would have been great right now. I would know. I might not have to struggle to read a single book, or I would not have been struggling to write a single line of code in computer science. So yeah. So basically, fundamental is more important, and it's like going to gym and training our muscles, and our muscle breakdown and building our muscle memory. So it's like right now, by reading a book, first time you are not going to understand, second time you are not going to understand, third time also you are not going to understand, but by this is going to build your muscle memory. So memory, muscle, yeah, whatever. It's like brain memory, brain muscles are like, so day by day it's going to teach you something in deep down in your brain, I would say. So in that hope, I'm also reading these books and trying to get into coding stuff. So yeah, I would say that's it for today. I'm sorry the video got paused in between in the starting. I was not aware of that. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye, guys. Sorry.